I should have known. I should have known that when I made a video about saying how we're not in a recession anymore, I was going to get a bunch of comments from people saying that just because the rich aren't struggling doesn't mean that poor people aren't struggling. A bunch of comments about how a recession is not defined by a lack of rich people, a bunch of comments about how we're in a K-shaped economy, yada, yada, yada. Suffice to say, I'm doubling down. We are not in a recession. Couple points of evidence why. Number one, a recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, which we have not had. And then number two, think about the converse of that argument. Same way a recession is not defined by a lack of rich people, good times are not defined by a lack of poor people. There's always going to be people struggling, but then that's a separate argument. A lot of people aren't doing very well right now, and I sympathize with that. But if you want to have a conversation about wealth inequality, that's a separate conversation about us being in a recession, because we're not in a recession. And the third reason we're not in a recession is just basically vibes. Stock market's still doing well. None of the major papers are reporting about how terrible this recession is. The economy is still generally doing pretty well by most indicators, even if I agree we can get into the specifics about how, the unemployment numbers are kind of fake, yada, yada, yada. But again, not in a recession. Vibes are not there.